Yeah, I lied. Also, I accidentally pressed streaming instead of recording. So for a solid few minutes, I was just talking streaming wise. That's pretty crazy to me. I'm glad that I don't really have an audience. I'm not gonna lie, because that would have been a little awkward to just throw up there and then I'm streaming when I meant to be recording this whole time. Anyway, I was going to talk about a lot of the things that I did previously, catch people up. I was going to talk about Top Golf. I was going to talk about Arcane and all of that, but I don't want to do that right now. Well, I could talk about Top Golf, but Arcane, I think I actually want to make a video about to gather my thoughts because at the point of making that previous video, I had only watched the first season. So, we're going to make a full video about that, talking about some points that I personally like and actually make it into a cohesive articulation, analysis, whatever you want to call it, for the show. Mainly because I was just talking about whatever when it came to that show. So I actually want to be more cohesive when I get to that. The other thing is that today is January 19th, and yes, TikTok has been banned. When I open the app, it just tells me about how I'm not allowed to access it, which sucks because it has a notification in it, and I don't know, I'm addicted to getting rid of the notifications in my apps, except for my emails. I have like 8,000 for that. I'm wondering when I'll get to 10,000. But mainly, I think this video, I just want to put in a couple of, you know, what is there to, let me think. I don't know. I heard a lot when it comes to the TikTok ban, and it hadn't even occurred to me how many people would be losing a source of income when it comes to TikTok has become such a great engine beyond being social. Like, I did use it personally to find out what was going on in the world. That's just how I got information in. It was the type of social media where I didn't feel like it was all negative all the time. And of course, many people know. I just got my hair done the other day, and the people talking there, they were talking about how they would buy stuff off of TikTok, learn things from TikTok. TikTok was used as a search engine, and it's crazy to me that we lost this app simply because of the government lobbyists. Like, what we are encountering in this oligarchy that we live in, because it's never been a democracy. Well, I'm not a political expert. I didn't take political science in college, so I'm not going to sit here and say like it ended here. It's always been a little corrupt. But the fact that we do have lobbyists and everything here kind of just frustrates me when the conversation becomes about the left or right, blue, red, conservative, liberal, BS, because it's like you guys don't actually see what our government actually is right now, and it's just for the business. Our country has been primarily a business for probably over a century. Okay, this whole need for patriotism and fighting the good fight for democracy. We don't even have real democracy here anymore. That's an opinion. I'm not an expert, but we don't have a real democracy anymore. Okay? It doesn't make any sense that a bunch of lobbyists can pay out our politicians to force a law to get rid of an app that we all like. I think it was like over 100 million US users on TikTok. So that's like about a third of the country was loving this app. And they came up with a reason of a national security, which makes no sense because the lobbyists work for people who do compromise our data integrity all the time. So this isn't a national security issue. And if it is, we don't care because again, you have been constantly stealing our data and selling it and then putting up all these different, workarounds just to get us to avoid trying for you to avoid trying to steal our data is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just like reminiscing about TikTok, I guess you could say. It was not my favorite app. It wasn't me 24/7 on TikTok. It was a great escape. It was a great way to connect with people too. A lot of my streamer friends are on TikTok and I watch their TikToks and I like it. It was nice to connect that way. I still remember when TikTok was musically. I remember in college that I said I wasn't going to go on TikTok because I thought it was just a bunch of kids dancing and stuff and I thought it was a rip off of a Vine, but TikTok obviously grew to be something way more. So the fact that we lost TikTok not because of, the company losing money, not because it became obsolete and no one cares. It got so good that the lobbyists said that they wanted to buy it. They wanted a piece of I think it was the market share. They wanted to make money off of it. And since they couldn't make money off of it, they wanted it gone. Which is crazy because I found out later too that TikTok has also been banned from like China. I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong. But from what I understood of the TikTok video that I happened to watch, is that TikTok has also been banned in China for the same general reason. Essentially, governments wanting to control the information that's being put out there because we learn from each other and, actually doing real cultural exchanges and interacting in this globalized world that, hey, the stuff that they've been saying over there isn't right, and the stuff we've been saying here isn't right, and here's the truth. And governments don't like that because, well, if the truth gets out, then people might get upset. Or worse come to worse, want to work together to make things better. Funny enough, I'm on Red Note. So many people migrated over to the Red Note. I have zero issue with the idea of learning Mandarin. It wouldn't be my first language I'm interested in learning, but it's just funny to me how many people are just like, let's just go over there anyway. How about we go over there out of spite? And my biggest frustration will ever for me is just like, why do US companies think that just because they have a competitor, they just have to buy it out or that they have to get rid of it, and then that'll mean they will get more business later? For decades now, the quality of anything US made has just been pretty much a scam. Just everything has been a scam. And not even just US made, US imported or outsourced labor and things like that. They have been making things cheaper and less quality for so long. Everything is just either poisonous or just crappy no matter what. So, like, what's the point? You want people to keep trying to artificially lower the bar on quality, raise the price for exclusivity, for pretend demand, and then get confused when people don't really want to buy. And then make it in a way that people don't have a choice but to buy. And then that's where we are right now. However, they don't have the option anymore because now we're on Red Note. And I'm pretty sure even if they were to try to ban Red Note, we find something else somewhere else. Because why are you trying to take away the smallest semblance of things and then go out of your way to ruin the very things you say that you're giving to us in the first place? Like, if there was something here worth looking into, then hey, there's that. But we currently live in a country that is a business at its core. The way that they act is a business at its core, an oligarchy here. And the way that it's acting is that we, the people, the consumers, are not supposed to have a choice beyond them. And we are also supposed to somehow magically increase their revenue year after year forever somehow. Like, we are supposed to somehow produce more money for them. Like, they are literally treating us like cattle. We're supposed to produce more money for them, even though they are actively taking more money out of our pockets are through, other things going on in our society and everything like that. Like, it's different if I just had more money going somewhere that I wanted to go. It's another thing when you say you don't have a choice. You're gonna die. If you don't, we'll pay you less and you must buy these things. So it's like, what is the point of that? I mean, I'm pretty sure they have points and everything. All of it corrupted and terrible and not morally right, but it's just funny. So, I guess that's my little rant about the TikTok ban. It was not my number one app. I prefer Pinterest, even though Pinterest is annoying me with the amount of ads on there. I'm not gonna lie, if Pinterest just had a small fee to get rid of ads, I genuinely would consider it, and then I get upset at the fact that everything has to be pay us so you don't have ads, even though everything else is stealing our data to give us ads. It's ridiculous to me at this point. It's like, do you want your data to be stolen so you can have targeted ads? Or will you pay us to not be annoyed by targeted ads of stuff that you're not going to buy anyway? So it's just, it's a ridiculous situation. It's a ridiculous circle. It's a loop we're stuck in. But, we have Red Note, and, I'll just add Mandarin to the list of languages I'm trying to learn. No big deal there. But those are my thoughts, and it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous the amount of the amount that we have to lose just because a handful of people, like 10 people or so, want to feel like winners. Like, I don't know. It's so weird to me. Like, if you have $1 billion, why are you bothering an entire country? That's my question. You have billions of dollars and you're trying to still get something from millions of people. Why? You can't just be rich and famous and just what do you want? Do you want people to start sacrificing their like loved ones for you and that's good? Like what is this? Just don't get it. And that seems dramatic, but I'm just saying it's just like it's a domino effect. They can't just take one step forward. They'll take one step and then 10 steps and then next minute we're begging to have clean air in our homes. It's like the Lorax. We're going to have to start buying air. And like we already have to buy filters and everything for our tap water. It's ridiculous out here. Greed. Welcome to 2025.